What are the top 10 tips to reduce stress and gain energy? First one, get more sleep. Almost all of you probably are not getting enough sleep. We should be getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day. Study after study shows that if you're not getting the appropriate amount of sleep, you can't think as well. You can't process. The plates that you have spinning are going to become more overwhelming. So you want to get enough sleep so that your brain can actually work and focus and stay prioritized on what you want to deliberately do that day. So when it comes to me, I don't do screens 60 minutes before I go to bed and 60 minutes after I wake up. And the reason for that is you can sleep better if you're preparing your mind to sleep. So everything from making sure I don't eat or drink as much water as I'm getting closer to bedtime to I don't have my phone, I don't have TV. I'm trying to do better there. Now this is another one where I would say I want to work better this next week. Just saying it out loud, I'm realizing, I had a few nights last week where I fell asleep in front of the TV because it's football season and I'm so excited to watch football again. But I'm not being as deliberate as I could be. So what's happening is my sleep pattern's suffering. So I want to do a better job of shutting off that screen and allowing myself to maybe read a book, talk to my wife, even just meditate before I actually go to sleep, because then that'll help me actually have a better night's rest. Second tip, especially while we're all starting to work more remotely, I just think every hour on the hour, ideally even 50 minutes is better, but it's hard for me to really remember that. So I just think on the hour, I'll stand up, I'll close my eyes, and I'll allow myself to just take a little bit more of a break. I'll do the 20-20 rule where I will look 20 feet ahead for 20 seconds. And that allows my eyes to reset a little bit. So not only did I close them as I stood up, but then I also do that refocus. And then when I sit down, I'm way more ready to handle the next meeting, to handle the next task so that I can be focused on it. Now, a combination of this break is the third tip, and that is focus on your breathing. Brendon Burchard calls this release tension, set intention, and I love that. But what I'll do during that break a lot of times is I'll take deep breaths. It could be as simple as 5 seconds in, pause for a little bit, and 5 seconds out. And if I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed, when I breathe out, I'll say the word release. Sounds so cheesy, I know, but I'm telling you, it works. I even do this especially before a big presentation or any time that I'm stressed. So you stand up, breathe in, breathe out, and say release, 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 release. Before you start knocking it, try it, and I will promise you, you'll start to feel a little bit more relaxed. Chances are you're probably not getting enough oxygen. I mentioned how much important water is. Oxygen is also important. So taking those deep breaths and mentally, deliberately saying release allows you to free that up. And then now, I'm back ready to work the next hour. The fourth tip is if I'm feeling really stressed, I will reconnect to my 5 senses. Now, this activity can take me 5, 6 minutes, or if you want to take even 10 minutes, but I will go outside. If you have shoes on, I even recommend you take off your shoes because there's power in being connected to the earth, being able to feel what's going on. And I will take time, 1 minute per sense, to go through my 5 senses. For example, I'm sitting outside and I will focus on touch. So I will grab a tree leaf, I will grab a piece of bark, wherever I'm at, and I'll simply touch it. And for that 1 minute, the only thing that I'm focusing on, the only plate that's spinning at that one moment is touch. And I'm feeling it and I'm understanding what that sense is like and I'm blocking out all the other senses. Then for the next minute, maybe it's sight. And so I will look and I personally like to look at just one thing. So it might be a cloud or it's a flower. You try that. Next, go grab a flower and take a minute just to really look at it. You're going to notice all these different things that maybe you didn't notice before. And I'll go through each of my different senses. And then after that, I immediately feel more calm. I feel more connected to what's going on. I feel more deliberate because I'm not allowing my brain to go crazy with all the overwhelm and stress and what plates I have, but I'm focusing on the here and now. And then when I go back to work or whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm way more focused there. Tip number 5 to reduce stress and gain energy, exercise. I mentioned it as one of my Master the Morning routines, but if you prefer to do it at night, that's okay too, but get exercise. Now, in addition to having at least a few times a week where you're sweating and really getting that cardio, I also try to just get exercise in the normal daily activities. So if you work with me, you'll notice I never take the elevator. Even if I'm at the airport and I have 2 big bags in my hand, I don't take the escalator, I don't take the elevator. If I can avoid it, I'm taking the stairs. Because I want to have that exercise. I want to build that up. Same thing when I park a car. People are so frustrated when they're driving with me and we go to the grocery store or the restaurant. I'm not the type that drives around until I have the front row. I wake up early to exercise. Why not park a little bit further away and allow myself to walk a little bit more? So those simple little tips. And as I'm giving you all these different tips, take one action. Don't get overwhelmed by all the different things that I'm giving you as practical tips. Take one action, go implement it today. Whether it be you decided I'm going to make my bed, whether it be you decided I'm going to label my plates and prioritize my plates today. And then tomorrow, once you have that one habit, you can stack another habit on top of it. You can re-watch this video and create the second action that you want to implement. Number 6 is find someone to talk to. We all need someone to talk to. I am a strong preference towards introversion. And so I like my personal alone time, but that doesn't mean I still don't need people to talk to. And so whether it's a spouse, a partner, a family member, a friend, if you don't have any of those, or even if you do, I always recommend a coach. Once you have a good coach in your life, it changes everything because you have someone that can hold you accountable and you can have that different dialogue with. Tip number 7, ask yourself better questions. Your brain works to try to solve and answer whatever questions you give it. So if you're asking yourself, oh my gosh, why am I such a terrible dad? It will find reasons to tell you why, and you'll end up feeling more terrible. Here's how I switch it. If I want to think of, let's do the task of doing the dishes. I used to hate doing the dishes. I asked myself the question, how could I make doing the dishes more fun? And then my brain went to go solve for that. How to make it more fun? I listen to podcasts. That's my time to be able to hear some great information while I'm also doing a service. So asking myself a different question changed that entire experience. Number 8, get organized. Now, personally, this is why I want to organize myself with what I talked about mastering the morning and how I use Outlook and my tasks to be able to manage what I'm doing, but also in your home. Does everything have a place? In your closet, is it organized? I'm a huge fan of Marie Kondo. Check her out on Netflix or the other different things. But it's a great way to get your house in order, get it organized. Get your office in order where you show up. You know, I'm working remotely these days, like many of you. I needed to have an organized space to go to that felt different than my home. So you'll notice the other day I put up a wall. I'm not a very handy guy, but it was something important to me. So I went to our local store, bought some of these different things, and I wanted to have a place that felt different when I went into work. Number 9, eat the rainbow. What I mean by that is many of us are probably not eating as often or the right foods as we should. What you fuel your body changes how you feel. It changes the energy that you have. So not only do you want to drink a lot of water, but try to make sure you're getting the different vegetables. And a rainbow is an easy way to think of how do I want to be able to do that. And finally, number 10 is run bear models. Now, some of you are saying, I have no idea what that is. That's okay. For those that have been following me for a while, you know more about the bear model. I'll explain more in upcoming videos on LinkedIn. But think of it as a way to process your emotions, understand what you're thinking, what actions you're taking, what results that you're getting. All right, so leaders, I hope that was helpful. Which one tip are you going to put in practice today? And please, if you found value from this, share it with others. We want to get this word out to everyone. So many people are feeling stressed and overwhelmed, and some of these tips can help them. Until next time, I'm Joe Navratsky. Go lead.